If you haven't noticed, things are changing, and what's been popular and worked 5 years ago doesn't necessarily work anymore. Let me explain. You see, 5 years ago, Lambos were the thing. Tai Lopez was one of the first ones who really took off. And back then, I think that people were not as aware and not as educated about the whole online space and how everything works. However, now things have been changing. People have become much more aware and much more educated. The flashy guy, the person who flashes screenshots of money and Lamborghinis and everything on the screen, doesn't necessarily work anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably does and it converts. But the question is, does that really build trust between you and the viewer? You see, YouTube is a living thing. It is constantly changing and there are new trends coming in all the time. And whatever worked 5 years ago doesn't necessarily work now. You really gotta have a feel for what is the current situation, the current environment of YouTube. And my bet is that right now, being genuine and being transparent is much more relatable than the guy with the Lamborghinis and everything. So I recently made a video titled An Honest Conversation about YouTube Automation. And that video performed extremely well. It wasn't me saying, hey guys, I'm the guru, I made a bunch of money with YouTube automation, I'm gonna teach you, and oh, by the way, there's a course that you can buy from me. It was actually the completely opposite. It was me saying, hey guys, I started YouTube automation, and by the way, it's very hard, and here's what you should know. And the funny thing is that in that video, I said, I know that this video is not going to perform well. I know right now for sure this video is not going to do well. But I was wrong, and that video performed much better than all of my other videos. So I think that people on YouTube are now tired of this old format video style where it's like how to make $100 million on YouTube. Just click this video and I'm gonna give you the step-by-step tutorial. Instead, people are now looking for more genuine information, someone that they can actually connect with through video. And so there are a couple of reasons why this is happening. First off, I think the main one is because it has been around for a while and people are becoming much more aware of it. Now it's come to a point, it's like kind of a tipping point almost, I feel, where people have become much more educated. People are growing up on the YouTube platform, right? We're getting older. And so now it has been reversed from the flashy guy to the actual genuine guy who you can build a relationship with. Because you see, it's very hard to relate to someone like Tai Lopez, Grant Cardone, or Dan Lok, because you and I, we're just regular people living our regular lives, trying to build something on the internet, whatever it is, whether it's a YouTube channel or online business. It's much more relatable to listen to someone who is actually going through the same things as you are, who might be just a few steps ahead of you, and who is like, hey, listen, like, I know where you are right now. I've been there. I took a couple of more steps and this is the path and these were the mistakes I made. So I'm just going to tell them to you. But you see, nothing is either black or white. Things are always fall somewhere in the gray, somewhere in between. And there are always going to be trade-offs. So even though the pendulum is swinging towards the genuine guy, that's going to result in less authority, but the authority is going to be built over time as people follow along the journey of that person. For example, I've been around on YouTube for 2.5, almost 3 years now. You can see my journey starting from one thing evolving into the other thing. And when you discover someone's channel, you want to understand them as a person. You want to feel how they are as a person. And so I myself look back when I discover a new channel, look back at the old videos, see what that person was doing, how they evolved, where they are right now, etc. And this applies to all of the new creators. The reason why Mr. Beast is so appealing to the younger generation is because everyone can relate to him. It's such a cool story. He started at 11 years old. He published over 1,000 videos himself, and now he's made it big. And that's the thing. We can follow along for the journey. We can see his whole life captured on video on YouTube. So if you're starting a YouTube channel, my advice for you would be be as genuine as possible. You want to still cater your video to the format of the platform. You don't want to have your videos boring where you're just mumbling and you're having too many pauses, because that's not going to have a good retention. But what you do want to make sure is that your content speaks directly to the viewer. So I'm speaking to you right now. You're looking me in the eyes and I'm looking at a camera, but I'm imagining you in my head. And so if we ever meet or if we talk over the phone, I'm gonna know you and you're gonna know me. And I think that right now, this is one of the most important things to the success on YouTube, is to be able to build a trust, to build a relationship between you and me, and you understanding that I'm a guy just like you who is doing his thing and sharing the journey along the way.